Time now for our Panther Spotlight. This is Todd Bell. A reminder that you can check out our YouTube page. Search Ohio Dominican Athletics on YouTube, and you can check out all of our Panther Spotlight interviews that we had going back to the fall and now as we continue here into the winter. My guest today helped lead his high school basketball team, the McNicholas Rockets, to their first district title in 22 years. Began his playing career at Augusta University down in Georgia, and after 3 seasons came to Sunbury Road to be a Panther for a couple of years. And probably takes some of the hardest tumbles on the floor of anybody on our basketball team. Carson Seemann, a senior out of Cincinnati, Ohio, joins us here for Panther Spotlight. Yeah, a little chuckle there. Yeah. You've had a couple of hard falls this year. You're a guy who can get up into the air, but that's a long fall once you get up there, isn't it?
Exactly. I kind of do it to myself a lot of the time, but it's anything for the team realistically. But yeah, it's definitely, my body goes through it for sure throughout the whole year.
I know against Tiffin, you got up. You had that real hard fall at Tiffin at home, and you got up and you're wincing in pain, and the whole rest of the game I saw you were kind of making sure the back and the ribs and everything felt okay. Great start to the season for the team. Middle portion of the season now, you've hit some struggles. Some teams have some scouting reports on you. Things have gotten a little bit harder. Just kind of walk me through how this senior year has gone for you and your teammates.
Yeah, for sure. I think, especially going in the first weekend, we had a tough couple games there. We went 0-2 in that first weekend. But, I mean, a lot of the guys, especially us seniors and, even the team as a whole, we felt really good where we were at. I think, a lot of the stuff we knew we were going to grow into. It was a lot of new pieces coming in and trying to find our roles and, what was going on with that. But we were really excited about getting into conference play. I think that's our main goal every year, do as best as we can in the conference, get the wins that are non-conference for sure. But going into conference play, we felt really confident. And, going into that stretch where we were, winning a lot of games, beating a lot of good teams, it helps for sure. Just knowing that we can do it is one thing, and two, knowing that we have the pieces that can make a run and especially beat the good teams at the top, and we got to keep fighting for those spots for sure.
Every night in this conference is a grind, though, and I'm sure you guys are finding that out right now.
Exactly, yes, sir.
Describe your game for me. You kind of start out on the outside. You like to get to the basket. Not a great 3-point shooter, but you make a couple here or there. How would you describe your basketball game?
Yeah, I would say more of a driver. A lot of my game, especially coming from Augusta, I played the point guard at Augusta, so a lot of my things that I did there changed when I came here for sure. I wanted to rebound as much as possible, use my athleticism is a main thing for me. So I think especially coming here, knowing a role that maybe I don't have to shoot as many threes or don't have to facilitate as much, that I can get downhill, get rebounds, play defense for the team. That's kind of my main thing, especially going into this year, my senior year. I wanted to really be the defensive guy for the team, and I feel like I've taken a good role into that. And I worked a lot in the summer for that stuff, getting my body right and getting as quick as possible to guard those 6'7", 6'8" guys, and then some of the smaller guys that I guard for sure.
How has it been different for you this year? Because your first 2 years that you played at Augusta, you started one game. Didn't start any last year as a junior here at ODU, and now you've started each of the last 18 after coming off the bench the first 3. How different is it for you as a starter as opposed to, I'm sure, as a mindset, you were used to coming off the bench?
Yeah, for sure. I think it was the opportunity. I knew Coach kind of wanted to spark in the start of the game, and I feel like that was my job. I feel like it was definitely a job for me coming off the bench at the beginning of the year, and I felt like I did a good job for that. And I think a lot of the things that we do now, where we sub in a lot earlier, and we kind of get guys in and out, I think that helps a lot. I think me and Logan Ryan, we sub in and out for each other, and I think that's really important. He brings a great spark to everything shooting-wise, and, we get Zach in there, Brady in there, those type of guys, Kyler Kroll now. I mean, just doing an unbelievable job, and I think it's everybody being ready for the opportunity, and that's kind of where I took it, especially being a starter now. It's really important for me to, keep that opportunity alive and, keep that spark going at the start of games.
Tell me about the recruiting process for you. You're from Southwest Ohio in Cincinnati, but you end up in a school in Georgia in Augusta. How does that happen?
Yeah, especially in high school, I obviously wanted to play college basketball. That was always a dream of mine. And, a lot of the recruiting up here, I didn't really get a lot of looks out of high school, which I was kind of upset about, just trying to figure out where I would fit in at and find that spot for me. But, the South always called me. My mom always wanted me to go South. And luckily, Augusta ended up working working out. I ended up playing in a couple AU tournaments, and the coach found me, and we kind of contacted a little bit here and there, and I ended up going on a visit, playing there, playing in an open gym, and they ended up, liking what I could do, and ended up receiving an offer, and I didn't see any other place better for me at that point, and it worked out really well, and I loved my time there, and I was extremely, extremely grateful for everything that they gave me there, and obviously it ended up with me being here, which again, I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity for sure.
Yeah, so ultimately what led to that? Were you kind of looking for a different opportunity? I know you wanted to kind of get back closer to home a little bit. How did you end up here?
Yeah, I think my main goal was to get closer to home. I want to see my family as much as possible. Kind of get a little homesick there in the last couple of years being down there. But I think a main thing for me, I love Columbus. I'm always an Ohio State fan, so I think that worked out well for me. I got a bunch of friends that go to Ohio State, so just being close to them, seeing everybody as much as possible. And again, finding that team that, that would fit my role. And I definitely found it here because they brought me in. They brought me in with open arms, and I'm extremely grateful for them giving me the opportunity. And, hopefully it works out at the end for sure.
The weather the last couple of weeks, did that make you regret your decision?
Yeah, I definitely thought about it for a little bit because I know we weren't getting snow down there in Augusta for a little bit.
Although the South has gotten their share of a little cold temperatures and some snow down that way as well. All right, so Augusta, Georgia, I think there's a golf course down there that's fairly important to the golfers of the world. Yeah. I know you like to play a little bit of golf. Yeah. Did you ever get a chance to go to the golf course, see it, sneak on, run around? What'd you do?
So actually, interesting enough, I got to work the Masters my second year there.
Okay.
They offer an opportunity for Augusta students to work the Masters, and once I saw the email, I signed up as soon as possible.
Couldn't hit the send button quick enough.
I couldn't get it there quick enough. I was extremely excited to do that. I got to work in the pro shop, so that was one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. I got to watch a lot of golf, a lot of good golf, and try to implement some of that stuff into my game. Sadly, it doesn't. Sadly, it doesn't work out. But yeah, I love golf. I love playing golf and love watching it.
So any brush with greatness down there? You rub elbows with any of the players?
A lot of the guys I got to see was John Rahm. I got to see him make that final putt on 18, which was unbelievable.
How cool is that?
Saw Scotty Scheffler. I got to walk around, follow him for a little bit, which is unbelievable. It's just the atmosphere there is just completely different. Obviously, no phones, anything like that. So everybody's just really locked in on good golf, and it was really fun to be there for sure.
I've taken my son to Ohio State where they have the nationwide tour towards the end of the year, and it's like the last one where those guys are trying to get their PGA card. Yeah. The galleries are tiny. It's basically just family. So it's really cool to be up close and watch the players. It's so different in person than it is when you're watching on TV.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Totally different experience for sure. I would definitely advise people to try to get to a golf tournament here and there for sure.
Yeah, it's really cool. Carson Seemann is our guest today here on Panther Spotlight. All right, let's go back to your high school days down in southwestern Ohio at Archbishop McNicholas High School. What was it like growing up in that area in Cincinnati? I know you're kind of east of it. You're Cincinnati suburb, if you will. But what was it like growing up in that area and playing at McNicholas?
Yeah, for sure. I love Cincinnati. I think that's an unbelievable place to grow up. I think a lot of my friends would say the same. I think we're a really close-knit friend group back home, and it only helped just because going to high school with those guys, playing with those guys every year was just unbelievable. I think McNick really, they brought the talent out of me realistically. They worked with me a lot going there and got me where I wanted to be realistically, and I'm extremely grateful for everything that I went through with McNick. And obviously our senior year we had a really good run, and I was really excited to do it with a group of seniors because, again, those are my close-knit friends for sure, and they're obviously still very close-knit today. So.
Yeah, and I mentioned you won that district title. That was a very good Trotwood-Madison team that you guys beat. What was the experience like in coming through like that and getting the team over the hump into the regionals?
For sure. I think that game was really important to us. A lot of the talk around Trotwood was just that they were going to run us out of the gym, and that was definitely hard for us to hear just because we've never been there yet, and they obviously were. They're obviously a really talented team that year. And, us seniors really bought into the idea of us trying to do as best as possible for the community, and I think we really did. And obviously it showed out. We had a lot of fans at that game. A lot of students came out, especially during COVID. That was rough. But, again, the community that around McNick is unbelievable. They bounce around from sport to sport, and they follow everybody. And the support that we got that year, and obviously it helped push us on that run. And again, extremely grateful for it.
Quality athletics in the GCL down there at all levels, whether it's the men or the women's teams that are down there. Now, I also read you had an older brother, Cameron, who also played college basketball, Division III at Washington Jefferson. A full 4 years ahead of you, or 3 years?
4 years. Yes,
so you guys weren't in high school together, but it didn't matter. You didn't even go to the same high school.
No,
is that right?
Sir,
what happened?
Sir.
How does he go to Moeller and you go to McNick?
Yeah, so he went to Moeller. That was kind of a main thing for him. He loved Moeller. I actually went there for 2 years, and my freshman and sophomore year I was at Moeller, and I loved it there. I just felt like McNick was a better spot for me, and heading over to my junior and senior year, did it there. Had a lot of AAU teammates that played with me at McNick, so they kind of draw me away from Moeller, and I'm extremely grateful for it. But again, I loved Moeller, and he loved it there, and he had an unbelievable run when he was there. He made it to the state championship. But I just think McNick fit me better, and I think Moeller fit him unbelievable, and obviously got him where he wanted to be for sure.
So what was it like growing up with an older brother but playing basketball in the backyard?
It was rough. It was rough. Again, I think that the way my body feels.
Looking at his picture online, he's a little bigger than you.
Oh, 1,000%. He lifts a lot of weights. He's not as big as me height-wise, and I always let him know that. But the way my body feels now, I think it felt worse when I was younger. I'm not going to lie. Just because, we competed in everything we did. And I think that was the main point for our family is we love competition. And he honestly made me the player I am today because I would be nowhere without my family and especially him pushing me.
Describe your experience here at ODU. You're a finance major, already graduated, working on your MBA. What's been your year and a half here on campus been like?
Unbelievable. I think ODU, again, I kind of relate it back to McNick. I think the community around here is unbelievable. I think we rally with each other. I think a lot of the sports teams, they work together just to make sure that everybody's doing well. And, we're excited for each other. I think that's really different than you get at different places. And, again, the year and a half here and, going on 2 years, ODU's been really special to me and will always have a major place in my heart because they gave me the opportunity to play and come back home realistically. So, yeah.
So you said you like Columbus as a whole as well. You said you like Cincinnati, you like Columbus. So what's the future hold for you?
See, I don't know yet. I'm doing a lot of job interviews, stuff like that. I've tried to apply different places here in Columbus and Cincinnati. I would not be opposed to living at either of those places because, again, grew up in Cincinnati, love it there, love it here in Columbus, got a lot of friends that stay here. But, again, just grateful for any opportunity that I get. And, if it comes back to Cincinnati, I get to live with my parents for a little bit, which I love. So,
save a couple of dollars,
save a couple of dollars.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Exactly.
All right, stretch drive for the basketball team coming up, a month to go. What's the focus now for this basketball team?
I think every day is really a focus for us. I think going into practice, focus on every opportunity that we have. I think obviously playing Cedarville on Thursday, that's a big one for us. I think we need to get that one at home for sure, and then heading on to Hillsdale. Those are two really important games, especially in the league, just for us, and especially just for our mentality. I think we get those wins, and we're right back to where we were at the beginning of the year with those runs. And obviously, we're pushing really hard for it, especially us seniors, just because we're really excited about, what we have and what we can really do.
Yeah, well, hopefully it'll be a great stretch drive. I'm looking forward to watching what this team has. I think there's still some stuff that's special left to go for this team. Carson, thanks for the time. Pleasure to talk to you, and go work on your golf game a little bit.
Of course. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Carson Seemann, our guest here on Panther Spotlight. And again, go to our YouTube page, Ohio Dominican Athletics, and you can check out all of our spotlights that we've had throughout the year. This is Todd Bell. Thanks for being with us on Panther Spotlight.